family vacation to Colorado just started, and today I got up early to get out here and fish this lake. We're looking at that as the sun comes up, so that's pretty awesome if you ask me. Let's go see if we can catch a fish. So I'm out here on this small trout lake, and it looks like it's getting snow melt from up there. I'm not really sure if this is stocked or if there's natural cutthroat or rainbow in here. What I have been told is that if I catch them out of here, I can keep 2. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by this little inlet right there. That's where the water is draining out of this feature. So it's heading back down over there. And then I assume there's a small creek that's feeding this lake over there. It's also incredibly windy, so let's see how I can do. But I'm basically just gonna start out right here with a little spinner, like some type of flashy spinner, probably white, something like that. And we'll see how it goes. So long. So I'm out here using 12-pound fluorocarbon, and I have this flashy little whiptail spinner. It's pretty good. There's a little bit of vegetation in this lake too, so I'm having to fight through that a little bit. I gotta take him over here. Yeah, baby! Got him on the spinner. It's a beautiful, like 2.5 pounder in the morning. Got him on the spinner. I can eat him out of this lake. Sorry, buddy. Right out of there. I'm told I'm allowed to keep 2 out of this lake, but dang, that's nice. You're gonna be a nice dinner, buddy. That might be the biggest rainbow trout I've ever caught. That nice whiptail spinner, baby. So obviously, I'm pretty happy that I was able to get that one fish. That was pretty sweet. The other part of that landing is the fact that I actually didn't have a net, so I didn't know quite what I was gonna do, but I just quickly picked this spot right here, and I figured I could slide him in around this boulder, and it worked out perfectly. I slid him in, he was in there, while I grabbed him and took him over that ledge. So he didn't get off. That spinner was wedged pretty good in his mouth, so excellent. We got a little bit of dinner. That's gonna be super sweet. I can't wait. The other thing is the technique that I was using, I think, is a little bit different than how a lot of people fish spinners. What I was doing is I was just throwing it as far as I could and then letting it sink down to the bottom and probably sit on the bottom for 5 seconds or so, and then give it a couple pops and then drag it along, let it sink down again, and then jump it a couple times and then drag it along, then start pulling it in like a spinner. And I think maybe right after I start pulling it in like a spinner, that's what the fish is. So super happy, got a little bit of dinner, successful day. I get to wake up looking at that baby. Let's go. So the sun has actually just come over this mountain ridge. It's a beautiful day near Idaho Springs, west of Denver, and the elevation is really high here. You find yourself kind of needing to catch your breath, but this is just an absolutely gorgeous day, getting to wake up to this. You can see that rock structure back there. This is just beautiful. So Makes it worth it to wake up in the morning. First fish is about a 2.5 pound rainbow trout. Beautiful fish. That'll make a great dinner. We're on our way. Let's see what else we can catch. See what else we can do on this beautiful vacation. This may or may not be the end of the video. Let's roll on. So that is definitely not the end of the video. It's going to be a catch and cook video. But man, I'm loving some of this new country. Take this fish and make it into a nice lunchtime or dinner time. So I am now back to the cabin that we're staying at. Just had a great morning of fishing. Brought home a decent amount of meat, nice rainbow trout. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up, turn this into a bit of a catch and cook video. But first, I just wanted to show everybody how beautiful it is to wake up to something like this. This is just amazing. We are about 20 miles away from Idaho Springs at St. Mary's Glacier Trailhead, somewhere about like that. We got a hot tub, spent some time out there last night, and just these beautiful rock formations that we have to stay in our cabin and look at this when we wake up. So don't take any bit of life for granted, especially when you get to experience beautiful things like this. Just get out there and make it happen, stay healthy. Let's clean this trout up. So I am gonna do this the way that I like to do it, which is a little bit different than what I've seen some people do, but I'm gonna make sure that I can use every bit of meat on this trout. So what I'm actually gonna do is I am going to start by, see, we have our nice rainbow trout. I'm gonna start by making a cut right behind the head like that. And I'm gonna cut down so the head is like halfway off, basically like that, so I can pull on this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut all the way down the belly like this. This knife at this cabin is not as sharp as what I have at home. I'm gonna cut all the way down the belly, going like that. Keep it going all the way down. And this is how I like to get all the meat off of the fish. So I'm actually gonna leave a little bit of bone on there and just be really careful when I'm eating it to scoop out and not eat bones. Right there. You take the head and it just pulls off with all the other blood and guts and stuff like that. And then you have really basically your whole trout, so you can try to eat all of this meat. And then I'm just gonna make a few more cuts. Hopefully this knife is a little sharper. Make a few more cuts down the middle so it hopefully lays flat. That's the idea. You want this to lay flat. And then you can just kind of use your hands to continue to pull all the other rests of blood and guts and stuff out like that. Clean that up. I may be washing this off with the garden hose. I don't know if I want to take this to the sink. So they're having breakfast in there. I don't want to gross anybody out, but it's going to be a good lunch. So really, this cleans up really good just like that. You can see you have your whole piece of trout. Got a lot of meat on there, and it's just gonna lay pretty flat. I'm gonna attempt to make one more cut. I'm gonna wash it off in the sink, and then we're gonna have a nice, really nice piece of trout to just go ahead and try to eat all this meat in there, and that's what I prefer to do. So let's roll on and see how this tastes. All right, so we've reached the catch and cook part of the video. You can see we have two rather clean fillets and then the spine of the fish. This was a bigger rainbow trout than I've actually filleted before, so we have two pretty neat fillets and then the spine and everything. I'm gonna attempt to eat all of this fish. I don't wanna waste anything, so we're gonna have some fish tacos and maybe one fillet. First step in this recipe is a shot of wild turkey bourbon. Stuff is really good. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw a bunch of butter on here. Just like that, we are on vacation. Pretty nice like that. Pretty simple. Garlic. Onion. And then a little bit of this taco seasoning. Give it a little bit of flavor, something spicy, something a little bit hot, because that's all that we had here in this cabin. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Stick it in the oven, 395 degrees. We're gonna bake it. That's that. Let's see how it tastes.